The stars always looked different from the bridge of the Zephyrian survey ship Cosmic Wanderer, especially this far from home. Commander Velter rested his four-fingered hand on the cool surface of the control panel, gazing into the vast black. Beyond, his bioluminescent blue skin glowed faintly in the dim bridge lights. Like all Zephyrians, he was tall, slender, and possessed large, dark eyes evolved to see more than most species could. Commander called Science Officer Crix, her voice carrying the melodic quality of her kind. "I'm picking up something odd on long-range sensors." Velter turned toward her. Though younger Crix had repeatedly proven her brilliance during their 3-year mapping mission along the galaxy's outer rim. "What kind of odd?" he asked, approaching her station. The bridge was compact, functional, meant for a 12-member crew. The Cosmic Wanderer wasn't built for combat or diplomacy. It had one purpose: exploration. Crix gestured to the display. It projected a 3D rendering of the system ahead. According to the star charts, this system should be empty. 3 planets, one too close to the star, one airless, and one too far and cold. But there's something here. An energy reading from the third planet? Weak, but definitely artificial. Velter examined the pulsing signal. Rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. Could it be a probe? Perhaps Corvini or Helix Tech. Crix shook her head. No match to any known patterns. It's something new. Excitement stirred in Velter's chest. This was why he joined the fleet. Systems were barren, but sometimes the unexpected surfaced. "Set course for the third planet," he ordered. "Shields up. Weapons on standby. We go in cautious." The ship pivoted and accelerated with near-silent ion drives. 6 hours later, they neared the planet. In the conference room, Velter briefed the senior officers. "Signals intensifying," said Crix, also detecting artificial structures in orbit. Navigation Officer Then, short and broad, pulled up a planetary scan. "Surface temperature is -40. Atmosphere, nitrogen, and CO2. Little to no oxygen. Life shouldn't exist. But something's emitting that signal," added Security Chief Nara, a hardened ex-military officer. "Could be an ancient automated system." "It's possible," Velter said. "But the pattern's too intricate. Feels different." As they drew closer, sensors revealed more. Crix gasped. "Commander, look at this." The main screen revealed several orbiting structures. One stood out, a damaged cylindrical ship, over 2 kilometers long. "It's old," said Fane. "Minimal power output." "Life signs?" asked Velter. "Hard to tell. Hull's dense. But some areas might have breathable air." "We dock," Velter decided. "Prepare an away team. Full suits and analyzers." 2 hours later, a team of 4 entered the ship. Their helmet lights pierced the gloom. Everything was unfamiliar. Corridors wider, ceilings taller, walls made of unidentifiable alloys. Artificial gravity was active. But at a strange level, they explored slowly. Equipment, though ancient, still worked. The ship's tech was all sharp angles, very unlike Zephyrian design. Eventually, they found the computer core. Crix began accessing it. "Systems live, most. Functions in standby. It's a colony ship." "From whom?" Velter asked. "Species name, humans. Launched 400 years ago. Ship's name is New Horizon. They were heading to colonize another world. FTL drive failed. They stopped here." 10,000 colonists, Nara muttered. "What happened to them?" "They landed on the surface. 397 years ago." Velter froze. That frozen world. "Yes, they took supplies and went down." Silence. Survival seemed impossible. "Any recent logs?" Crix searched. "Last update, 6 months ago. Humans still visit to maintain systems. They're alive, apparently, and not just a few." "Population?" "Nearly 2 million. Stunned silence. "What now, sir?" Nara asked. Velter looked at his team. This was beyond anything they'd encountered. A thriving human colony on a dead world. "We make contact. Learn how they survived. This could be historic." They returned to prepare. None knew how right he was. The story of humanity's lost colony was just beginning, and the galaxy was about to change forever. Velter stood again on the Cosmic Wanderer's bridge, staring down at the icy planet. It seemed inhospitable. The dark storms and faint blue glow suggested death, not life. "Any luck with contact?" he asked. CRICS replied, "Trying for 2 hours, sir. Interference is strong, but I may have found a communication hub near the equator. Keep trying. If they're down there, they need to know we're here." 20 minutes later, Crick sat upright, receiving transmission. Attic cleared, revealing a calm human voice in an unknown language. The tone hinted at surprise. "Do we have translation capability?" Velter asked. "Working on it, sir. The colony ship's files have language data. Creating a matrix." The human continued speaking questions. Urgency, confusion. "Ready," Crick said. "Not perfect, but understandable." Static faded. "Unknown vessel. This is colony control. Identify and state intent." Velter inhaled. "Colony control. This is Commander Velter of the Zephyrian survey ship Cosmic. Wanderer, we found your vessel in orbit. Come in peace and seek contact." A pause. "Commander Veltar, this is Governor Sarah Chen of New Horizon Colony. Did you say you're from another world?" "Yes, Governor. You're from the Zephyrian Republic. We only learned of humans through this discovery. Your survival intrigues us." Another long pause, understandably. "Would you be willing to meet us on the surface?" Chen asked. "We have questions of our own." Velter glanced at his crew. All nodded. "Governor, coordinates, please." "Sending now. Be advised. Our environment is harsh. Use protective gear."
Ice.
Crix plotted the site of valley between two mountains. As the Cosmic Wanderer descended into the frozen atmosphere, the true beginning of humanity's reintroduction to the galaxy unfolded. The Zephrons got their first up-close look at the human colony, and what they witnessed astonished them. Instead of a few struggling outposts clinging to life, they saw a web of cities linked by roads and what resembled a transportation network. The architecture was unlike anything Zephyrians were familiar with. The structures were low and solid, clearly built to endure the brutal environment. Many appeared half-buried, with only their upper levels emerging above ground. From the navigation station, Sir Fane spoke up. "I'm detecting large-scale agriculture in this region." "Those are cultivated fields down there." "Agriculture?" Velter repeated, surprised. "On this world, how is that even possible?" They touched down at a facility that was unmistakably a spaceport, though its design differed from any they had previously encountered. Through the viewport, they could already see humans awaiting them. These people didn't resemble the desperate survivors Velter expected. They wore quality clothing and carried themselves with the assurance of those who belonged. "Remember," Velter instructed his team as they readied to disembark, "we're guests here. These people survived for centuries without aid. Treat them with respect." The away team included Crix, Chief of Security, Nara. "This is where we construct our atmospheric processors. Each one provides clean air for around 10,000 residents." Velter examined the machinery. Though compact, it was obviously intricate. "How many have you built?" "Around 400 spread throughout all our communities. We're building more constantly since our numbers keep growing." "Your population is still increasing?" "Of course," Dr. Webb replied, genuinely surprised. "Why wouldn't it? We have enough food, safe housing, clean water, and breathable air. That's all life really needs." Their next destination was the mining sector. The humans had carved deep tunnels into the crust, extracting not just metals, but elements needed for agriculture and oxygen production. "How deep do these tunnels go?" Zen asked, while the elevator descended. "Roughly 2 kilometers at the lowest point," answered Maria Santos, the lead mining engineer. "We follow the resource veins wherever they lead. The geology here is surprisingly abundant." At the bottom, Velter entered a huge underground chamber buzzing with machinery. Yet what stood out wasn't the tech, it was the precision. Tools were perfectly arranged. Every miner knew their role. The entire operation ran with remarkable efficiency. "This is exceptional," he told Maria. "Your mining systems are as advanced as ours back home." Maria grinned. "They'd better be. If we stop mining, our oxygen systems shut down." And if that happens, we're done for. You get good at your job fast under those stakes. As they continued exploring the mines, Velter saw a deeper truth. Humans didn't survive by enduring hardship. They survived by refusing to accept it. Then Dr. Webb took them back to the agricultural center they'd glimpsed earlier, but now they saw its true scale. Our main farm runs 12 levels underground, he said as they took the elevator. Each level is optimized for specific crops. The facility was massive. Velter had seen farms across the galaxy, but nothing like this. Rows of thriving plants stretched endlessly under tailored lighting systems. How is all this powered? Crix asked. Geothermal plants, Webb explained. This planet has a volatile core. We tapped into it early. Over 200 geothermal stations fuel our infrastructure. A farmer named David Chen, the governor's nephew, showed them some of the more unusual plants. These blue ones are protein crops. They give humans all essential amino acids. We developed them from a toxic local fungus. You turned poisonous fungus into food, Zent asked. David chuckled. One of our easier challenges? That red fruit over there? It used to dissolve? Metal. Now it's a favorite in deserts. How? Selective breeding, genetic edits. 400 years of experimentation and necessity inspires creativity. Velter noticed something else. The humans didn't just grow food. They enjoyed doing it. Farmers smiled. Children played in designated areas. This wasn't survival, it was a life well built. That afternoon, Dr. Webb brought them to the colony's research division. Here, human scientists were developing cutting-edge innovations that surprised even the Zephyrians. This lab's designing building materials that expand and contract with climate extremes without cracking, Webb explained. And over here, he continued, is our team upgrading atmospheric processors? Long-term, we're working on planetary terraforming. Terraforming, Velter echoed. That could take millennia. Dr. Sarah Kim, the terraforming lead, looked up. Actually, our projections show we could transform 30% of the continent's air within 2 centuries. Wow, we're already making progress. She gestured to a wide window. In the distance, green land stood out against barren rock. That used to be lifeless stone. We deployed engineered bacteria that detoxify the soil and make it suitable for Earth-based plant life. In 50 years, we'll farm that area without domes. The realization hit Velter hard. They weren't adapting to the planet, they were changing it. Why wouldn't we? Dr. Kim replied, this is home now. We're making it livable for future generations. That evening, Governor Chen invited them to a public celebration held in the heart of the city. Thousands had gathered. What's the occasion? Velter asked. We just completed Settlement 7, Chen replied. It houses 50,000 people and uses our most advanced atmospheric tech. You build entire cities regularly? Roughly every 15 to 20 years? Our population grows, so we expand. Settlement 7 is our boldest yet. It's in a zone once thought too dangerous for habitation. The celebration was unlike anything Velter had ever witnessed. Music echoed, played on instruments made from native materials. Food reflected centuries of culinary trial and error. Displays showcased history, innovation, and pride. What struck him most wasn't the culture, but the attitude. These weren't survivors scraping by. They were pioneers, proud of what they had built. A young woman approached. Commander, she asked, is it true there are other intelligent species out there? As Velter answered. 43 known civilizations. Do any live on worlds like ours? He paused. He had visited scorching deserts, frozen moons, radioactive wastelands, but never a place where life thrived like this in such extreme conditions. No, he said honestly. Most species settle worlds that already suit their biology. Avoid hostile environments, the young woman smiled. Then I guess we're different. Later, during the festivities, Governor Chen pulled him aside. Commander, may I ask you something? Of course. Have you come across worlds abandoned by others? Worlds deemed too hostile? Yes. Many civilizations avoid such places. Chen looked out over the crowd. People dancing, laughing, thriving. Then maybe we can settle them, she said. We've learned how to survive anywhere. If others cannot use those worlds, maybe we can. Belter felt the same chill from earlier. If humans could thrive where others failed, it could reshape the galaxy. That would require ships, infrastructure, advanced tech. We can build all of that, she interrupted. We began with a failing ship and 10,000 refugees. At what we've achieved, imagine what we could do with a galaxy of resources. As Velter surveyed the lights of the city, he knew this wasn't exaggeration. The real question was not if they could, but what would happen when they did. Next morning, Velter and his team were enjoying a quiet breakfast when alarms pierced the air. Shouts echoed through the corridors. "What's that?" Nara asked, instinctively reaching for her weapon. Dr. Webb burst in, his expression grim. "Commander, we have an emergency. Governor Chen requests your presence in the command center." "Immediately." "What kind of emergency?" Velter asked as they grabbed their gear. "Mount Prometheus is erupting. It's the largest volcano on the continent, and this eruption is the biggest in half a century." They rushed through the halls. Despite the situation, the humans weren't panicking. Staff moved swiftly, communicating, checking screens, gathering. Gear. In the command center, Governor Chen greeted them quickly and gestured to a large screen. Satellite imagery showed a glowing red wound on the landscape, smoke and ash spreading fast. Prometheus began erupting 2 hours ago. Lava is heading directly toward Settlement 5, minus 60,000 residents are at risk. "Them?" Velter asked. "About 8 hours," a technician answered. "But toxic gases and ash will arrive in 3. Are you evacuating?" Crix asked. Governor Chen glanced at her advisors, then gave a sharp smile, the kind that spoke of confidence, not fear. "No, Commander. We're not evacuating. We're going to save the city." Velter stared. "Save it? From a volcano? Dr. Martinez, please explain." A woman with sharp eyes stepped forward. Settlement 5 was built near Prometheus for its geothermal energy. "We always planned for this. Our systems are designed for it." "You built a city next to an active volcano?" Zent asked, astonished. "Of course," Martinez said. "The volcano offers rich soil, vital minerals, and power. The risk is real. But we prepared." She led them to a detailed map. "We have 3 main defenses: lava redirection, atmospheric shielding, and infrastructure reinforcement. We don't just survive eruptions, we use them. You use volcanic eruptions." Velter echoed. "They release rare elements, heat, for energy and improve soil fertility, turn disaster into opportunity." Governor Chen stepped to a console. "All teams, this is Governor Chen. Activate Emergency Protocol 7. Repeat. Protocol 7 is now active." The room became even more intense as teams launched into action. "Would you like to observe our response?" Chen asked. "It will show you how we meet this world's challenges." Velter nodded, though he wasn't sure what to expect. Phase 1. Lava diversion. Martinez explained that Settlement 5 was protected by decades-old lava channels and barriers. "We can't stop lava, but we can guide it," she said, showing live feeds. Teams in thermal suits deployed charges, redirecting the lava to a prepared valley. "They're close to the flow," Nara noted. "Yes. But our suits withstand lava for 30 minutes, Martinez replied. "Long enough for safe operation." "Built lava-proof suits?" Crix asked. "After the 2387 eruption, we knew we needed them." Within 2 hours, the lava was moving away from the city. Phase 2, air protection. Settlement 5. Like all human cities, could switch to internal atmosphere. All external vents sealed, a technician announced. Citizens advised to stay indoors. "How long can a city survive like that?" Velter asked. 2 weeks, Chen replied. "We learned to be self-contained early in our history. But what stunned the Zephyrians most was Phase 3, harvesting the eruption. Specialist teams gathered volcanic gases and ash. Others tapped into the surge of heat to expand geothermal capacity. You're mining the volcano. The volcanic gases could be processed into vital industrial chemicals. The ash was rich with minerals, ideal for soil enhancement. And the eruption's geothermal aftershock had opened access to energy sources once buried too deep to reach. As the day progressed, Velter watched the humans turn what should have been a disaster into an opportunity. Not only had they protected their city, they had increased their resource base. By evening, the crisis was over. Settlement 5 was safe. The lava had been redirected to designated channels, where it would later fuel new geothermal generators. Enough volcanic material had been collected to support their industries for months. How often do you face emergencies like this? Velta asked during the debriefing in Governor Chen's office. Major eruptions occur every few years, she replied. Severe storms, several times a year. Seismic activity is common. And sometimes we have ... wildlife issues. Native wildlife, Velter repeated. Dr. Webb, seated nearby, nodded. Some of the larger predators are extremely aggressive, especially during mating seasons. They've attacked settlements before. And you respond to all these threats the same way? Nar asked. We prepare, Chen answered. We respond swiftly. And when possible, we find ways to benefit from them. That's the human approach. But why? Nar pressed. Why not just choose an easier world? Governor Chen looked out the window. The city glowed against the night, its people returning. 2 daily routines, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. Because this is our home, she said quietly. We've invested for centuries into making this world livable. Every generation has shaped it. Abandoning it would mean abandoning our history, our identity. Dr. Webb added. And in doing so, we've discovered something vital. Humans can adapt to anything. Every challenge we've faced, we've overcome. Every obstacle, we've turned into an advantage. That's what makes us human. Governor Chen continued, her voice calm but firm. We don't adapt just to survive, we adapt to thrive. We don't accept the limitations of our environment. We change those limitations until they become opportunities. A chill ran through Velter. What he had witnessed wasn't just an emergency response, it was a living demonstration of human philosophy. Governor Hay asked, a hypothetical, if humans encountered a world with challenges they'd never faced before, what would they do? Chen smiled. They'd study those challenges until they understood them. Then they'd build the tools to overcome them. And then she gestured toward the city. They'd make that world better than it was before. Dr. Webb laughed softly, and if the challenge was truly impossible, humans would probably be more interested than ever. We seem to enjoy the impossible. That night, Velter lay in his quarters replaying everything. The eruption would have forced most species to evacuate an entire city. But the humans had stayed. Redirected the lava. Turned the destruction into fuel, tools, growth. It wasn't their tech or their planning that awed him most. It was their attitude. They didn't see hostile environments or impossible odds. They saw puzzles, and they solved them. The next morning confirmed his suspicions. Governor Chen made an announcement. We've decided to establish a new settlement. In the eruption zone, the geothermal potential is high, and the ash deposits are rich in minerals. Construction begins within the month. You're going to build a city there? Crix asked in disbelief. Of course, Chen said simply. It's an excellent location. Why wouldn't we? As Velter prepared to depart the colony, a realization crystallized in his mind. The humans hadn't merely survived an impossible world, they had developed a way of thinking that made impossible worlds possible. And if they ever left this one, no one could predict what they might become. For the first time in his career, Velter felt fear not of human weapons, but of human will. The journey back to Zephyrion space took 3 weeks. In that time, Commander Velter wrote the most important report of his life. Every sentence mattered. The galaxy would read this. He described the impossible colony that had lasted for centuries. He documented their technology, their agriculture, their resilience. But most importantly, he explained what he'd learned during the eruption. They do not merely survive, he wrote. They take every challenge and turn it into an advantage. They reject the limitations of their environment. This is not adaptation. This is transformation. Upon arrival, his report was sent straight to the High Council. He didn't have to wait long. 2 days later, orders came. He was to appear before the full Galactic Council on the neutral station of Harmony Point. His report had been circulated to all 43 known species. The council chamber was vast. It's a dome of light and alloy capable of housing dozens of species. Velter had stood here before, but never like this. Never at the center of every gaze. Council speaker, then Dak, an elder of the Alaran species, called the session to order. Commander Velter, you have submitted a report about a previously unknown human colony. The implications are ... considerable. Present your findings. Velter activated the holographic system. Images of the thriving colony filled the chamber greenhouses and volcanic fields. Underground cities gleaming with lights, humans coordinating with practiced precision. Honored representatives, he began. What you see is a human colony. Founded 4 centuries ago, on a planet our scientists deemed uninhabitable. Not only have these humans survived, they have built a civilization that rivals anything in the galaxy. A wave of murmurs. Ambassador Sextai, of the Corvani hegemony, raised one of his forearms. Surely you exaggerate. No species could thrive in those conditions. I believed the same ambassador until I witnessed it myself. Velter played footage of the eruption response, humans redirecting lava flows, harvesting volcanic gases, planning new cities. This, he said, is how humans respond to catastrophe. Silence, then Ambassador Yulinara of the Crystalline Confederation spoke. This is ... troubling. If they can do this on one world, what might they achieve across many? That is the question we must ask, Velter agreed. According to our archives, there are over 3,000 known worlds classified as uninhabitable. If humans can settle even a fraction of them, they could claim them all. The chamber erupted. Fear, excitement, debate. What are the implications for galactic stability? Speaker asked. Velter paused, then answered truthfully. That depends on how we respond. The humans I met were peaceful, focused on building, not conquering, but if that ever changed, if they chose to expand, they would become the dominant species in the galaxy. No force, not even a united council, could stop them. The debate lasted hours. Some demanded containment. Others proposed immediate diplomatic contact. A few even suggested alliance, seeing opportunity in humanity's gifts. Ambassador Felinary of the Wise Collective offered a different thought. Perhaps we've approached this incorrectly. These humans have been isolated for centuries. They may not even know their homeworld still exists. Should we not first determine the status of Earth? It sparked further arguments. Some species had encountered Earth humans limited, pre-FTL. But what if the colony made contact? What if they shared their technology? Ambassador Zorak of the Militant Coalition slammed a fist on the table. That's why we must act now. Speaker. Then Dak raised a hand for silence. We will recess for 3 days. Each species may consult with its government. We vote upon reconvening. During the recess, Velter attended endless private meetings. But one stood out. Ambassador Yulinara invited him to her quarters. I've read your report. But tell me plainly, do these humans pose a threat to peace? Velter hesitated, then answered, They are peaceful now, but they are also relentless. If they ever chose expansion, no species could stop them. They've spent 4 centuries thriving in conditions that would kill most of us in ours. They don't need to fight us. It would simply settle the worlds we can't and outbuild us. Yulinara was quiet for a long time. Then she said softly, Then we have 2 options. Try to be their allies, or try to stop them before they become unstoppable. Which do you choose? I choose peace, but I don't know if that choice is still ours to make. When the council reconvened, the debate was fierce. Militaristic species demanded containment and blockade. Peaceful ones proposed diplomatic engagement. Industrial species were divided. Some saw partners, others rivals. Votes were cast. Immediate contact with the human colony. Passed 23-20. Establish diplomatic relations. Passed narrowly. Inform Earth of the colony's existence. failed. Final decision on policy? Full integration? 15 votes. Limited contact and monitoring? 17 votes. Containment. 11 vote. Speaker then Dak announced, the Council will pursue limited contact with the human colony with ongoing observation of their capabilities. But Velter knew the truth. The real decision would not be made here. It would be made by the humans. 3 months later, a message arrived. It was from Governor Sarah Chen. Commander, I wanted to inform you that our engineers have successfully developed a faster-than-light drive based on discoveries made while studying our planet's unique physics. We have made contact with Earth and shared these advancements. Velter didn't read the rest. He went straight to the Council. They've done it, he told Speaker then Dak. They've developed FTL, they've contacted Earth, and they are beginning to expand. How is that possible? The Speaker whispered, we thought it would take decades. ... We underestimated them, Velter said, just like everyone has for 400 years. Reports came fast after